Okay, sorry, I kind of got cut off. I keep forgetting I only have 15-minute window. So to finish up the Renaissance history notes, looking at the third piece, which is the decline of the Renaissance. This is after Elizabeth I rules during the height of the Renaissance. We have the two Stuart kings. So we have James Stuart, like I told you before in the last video, that James was appointed from Scotland by Elizabeth to come and rule England because there were no heirs to the throne. So he becomes James the First of England. He is Protestant. Now, Elizabeth I was also Protestant, but he believes in the divine right of kings, which, if you look at the definition here, is the idea that God has chosen me king, and no one has the authority or right to question me or my decisions as king. Okay, now if you think about that, it sounds a little arrogant, right? Divine right of kings. Like, I am holier than thou. I am larger than life. I am so big that no one can touch me and only I can make rules and no one can question my rules. So clearly, Parliament, who is there to back up the king and kind of balance out the rule, clearly does not like this idea because it basically cuts them out of the picture, as if James is so divine that he can exude his rules and his way and nobody can say no to him. So clearly Parliament and James the Sixth begin to have conflicts, continuous, relentless conflict. Okay, so that's kind of his rule. That's what he does. So then when he dies, his son, Charles I, takes over as King of England. Now, he is also Protestant, and he also believes in the divine right of kings. So again, we still have the same problem. You can see now why the Renaissance is in the decline, right? Elizabeth ran a wonderful kingdom which was thriving, but when we get to James and Charles, things begin to go downhill because they basically are bossy and bullies and really run this great kingdom into the ground at this point. So Charles even takes this divine right of kings a step further. He boldly dismisses Parliament because Parliament questions him, which they're supposed to do. He thought of himself as divine. Therefore, we have the civil war erupting in the kingdom. And we have two sides here. We have the king's supporters, which were called the royalists, versus the parliamentary supporters, which are called the roundheads. And if you notice here, oh, can I get it going? Okay. Parliament wins this war. Charles is defeated and beheaded for treason. And then England thus becomes a commonwealth and is ruled by Parliament from here on in. Okay, so to recap, if you look back at our notes, we have three sections. We have the rise, which was ruled by the Henrys, the Tudor kings, Henry Tudor, the 7th and the 8th. Then we have the height of the Renaissance, which is Elizabeth I, the whole height. And then we go into the decline, which are the Stuart kings, James Stuart, James VI, and Charles I.